Alert day conditions are moving through the Madison area. We are live on the roads with the latest conditions. And a Madison school loses one of its teachers. Why the move has some parents concerned. Plus, the Badgers are gearing up for March Madness in Denver. The fans that made the trek out west to see their favorite team play. That is all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric Franke is off tonight. We have alert day conditions moving through southern Wisconsin all day, all night. Our First Warn weather team has been tracking this since late last week. We're providing you team coverage from both the studio and out on the roads. Let's start with meteorologist Blaze Keller. And Blaze, how much snow are we supposed to get? Is it falling?
We are expecting anywhere between 1 to 5 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin. It's kind of widespread. We still have a couple of counties underneath that winter weather advisory, and this is going to be more of that wet, heavy snow. Sauk County, Columbia County, Marquette, Green Lake counties, as well as Dodge underneath that winter weather advisory from about 4 to 7 a.m. on your Thursday. We're still dealing with some of that heavier snow right now. If we want to take it full, we can really show you where the heaviest pockets of snow are. We have to go off into Juneau, Adams County, as well as parts of Vernon and Sauk County, or excuse me, Richland County and Sauk County there. In Elroy, Camp Douglas, Stark, Rockbridge, just to the east of Viroqua and to the east of Sparta. That's where a heavy band continues to sit. We also find another heavy band from Manitowoc and Sheboygan all the way back into Beaver Dam, Oshkosh and Fond du Lac, with some of that snow still falling around Prairie du Chien, as well as Bosco Bell and Gaze Mills. We're noting that there is some drier air, though, across parts of southern Wisconsin, mainly along the Wisconsin-Illinois border. So that's going to really undercut or lessen the amount of snow that we may receive by the time we go into your Thursday. If we take a few estimations of snow that's fallen over the last 24 hours across parts of southern and central Wisconsin, you can see some folks have picked up an inch and some folks have picked up nearly a foot of snow based on estimations up near La Crosse. And this is, again, that wet, heavy snow that's going to continue overnight into the morning hours on your Thursday. But again, for folks along the Wisconsin-Illinois border, we might not see that snow for a little bit longer because of that dry air. We have to get more of that moisture to saturate the air that's sitting above us before that snow will fall. We're also going to be dealing with breezy conditions as we go overnight into your Thursday. So blowing snow is also going to be a problem, especially on those roads through the morning commute. So keep that in mind. These winds are going to be out of the northwest, gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour at times. So it's going to be breezy, but the good news is we are going to be quieting down for your Thursday. I mentioned that the roads may be a little bit tricky to travel on because of the winds and the blowing snow, and that's where we find our Maddie. Maddie, what are you seeing out there?
Hey Blaze, we are traveling east on the Beltline, and you were mentioning the winds. I'm going to let you take a look at what we are looking at. It is certainly windy out here. You mentioned that it's supposed to calm down tomorrow, and I am looking forward to that. It's the type of wind that you can feel from inside the car. It's really blowing around, and on top of the slightly slick roads, it makes for a little bit of a tough commute. It's not too bad, and especially with the dark, you just want to make sure you're not too close to the cars behind you, but I wouldn't say the visibility is a huge problem. Again, we've just been traveling back and forth on the Beltline a little bit. Earlier today, we saw a lot of rain, even some hail. At this point, it really is all snow and honestly all wind. So keeping safe out on the roads, as everyone should do through the night and into tomorrow morning's commute, but for now, we'll send it back to the studio.
Okay, thank you so much, Maddie, and stay safe out there. In other news, an internal review found a former UW-Madison vice chancellor gave unauthorized raises to staff members. Dr. LeVar Charleston stepped down after a 3-year tenure amid financial concerns in the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. A review found between December of 2023 and 24, Charleston gave raises to 12 employees exceeding 10% of their base salaries. However, the division did not provide sufficient evidence for those pay increases. Amidst the review, UW-Madison released a statement saying, quote, "The review confirmed poor financial judgment and lack of accountability. An external examination of management control is set to begin soon," end quote. Dr. Charleston was removed from his role on January 22nd. Lapham Elementary School in Madison is losing a teacher, which is creating concerns among parents. The remaining 2 second-grade teachers at Lapham will now have class sizes of about 27. Now, that number is within district policy, but some parents say it shouldn't be.
27 kids on 1 teacher is not the right ratio in any way, shape, or form. They need support.
As a school system, we have an obligation to also ensure that we have adequate staffing across all of our schools. And sometimes that means we have to make adjustments from one school to another school.
Now, they're expecting also in the district to add more than 8 full-time staff for the upcoming school year. They'll be shifting employees around to different schools, but the district in Madison is not sharing the details about which schools will gain or lose staff at this point. News 3 Now was able to individually confirm the situation at Lapham, as you can imagine. You can find more details at channel3000.com. In February, the State Department froze funds for international education programs. And for one UW-Madison researcher, this freeze put more than a year's worth of planning down the drain. 4 days before Richard Lindrith's flight to Argentina, he got an email from the Fulbright program, wiped his research expedition off the calendar. He said he tried to get answers on why their project, titled Integrating Chemical Ecology and Climate Change Research, was cut, but he couldn't find any. He suspects it has to do with the term climate change.
Those terms are targeted for defunding projects. So even though Fulbright would not come out and say that's what happened, pretty strong suspicion that that's where it lied.
Lindroth says projects like his one in Argentina help push the needle forward for scientific discovery. He adds that he has hope, or no hope rather, that his Fulbright funding will be put back on the calendar because it was canceled and not paused. Well, we are less than 24 hours away from Wisconsin's first game of the NCAA tournament. The Badgers will be taking on the Montana Grizzlies tomorrow at 12:30 on TNT. And News 3 is the only local news station there covering this game live. Sports director Zach Hanley is with the team getting ready for a tournament run. Zach.
The unique thing about the NCAA tournament is that in the first round, you play teams you don't know a lot about. Wisconsin and Montana have met just 3 other times, with the Badgers winning all 3. But Max Klesmit is pretty familiar with one member of the Grizz. Klesmit roomed with Austin Patterson when they were teammates at Wofford a couple years ago. Fast forward to now, new teams, same friendship, but this time they're opponents in the big dance. It's a cool opportunity for both guys in their last year of college basketball, and it's one they told me is a full circle moment.
Cool to see that someone you started your college career with, you're facing against in the first round of March Madness, the tournament everyone wants to be in. So it's super cool, and it's a cool story.
Full circle is literally the perfect way to explain it. Just starting out our college careers together at the same time, and like I said, becoming really good friends, and kind of getting to finish our college careers off, ending and playing each other. I think it's a really cool, way how that all kind of works out.
Now, Max said after the selection show, he did call Austin to talk a little trash, but both guys kept talking about how excited they are to face off against each other. At Ball Arena, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
We're excited too. Thank you, Zach. A handful of fans made their way to Denver as well to cheer on the Badgers. Our Armand Rahman spoke to them ahead of the big dance.
The gathering place for Wisconsin fans, a tavern just steps away from Ball Arena, is already filling up hours before the band comes through for a pep rally. I caught up with some Badger fans before the game, and they say they're ready to bring the thunder at tip-off. Listen, breaking through the regular city sounds, the Badgers are bearing down on Denver.
I think we've got the loudest and probably the happiest.
And the earliest. Several fans showed up to watch the squad practice on the court 24 hours before tip-off.
Gonna root them on for the practice, root them on for the game. We need to practice too, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our best to give the team spirit that they need.
Many parents that left Wisconsin haven't left behind Bucky.
Miss Wisconsin, love the Badgers.
And are passing that passion onto the next generation.
She's followed my sports allegiances since she was born, so she's loving it. We got to skip school a little bit so she could watch it.
Bryce and his son Rippin have a special connection drawing them to the Red.
His cousin Lily Cron plays for the Badger women, so he's watched her play basketball a few times, but that's about it. So first time watching the men's.
It's some fans' first time and some others' tradition.
Got to see the Badgers. You got to love them.
Paul and Marla Schaefer's love transcended a 960-mile drive.
No one anticipated we would be in this position at the beginning of the season. So they've grown a lot. They've been fun to watch, and we're just soaking in it as long as we can.
So as the beer, the cheer, and the excitement starts flowing, there's only one thing to say ahead of the big game. Fans tell me that while they're obviously hoping for a victory, they're sure Greg Gard's squad is going to put on a good show. For now, reporting in Denver, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
All right, thank you, Armand. How fun. When we come back at 10, Blaze tells us when the alert day conditions will end. Plus, one step closer to peace in Ukraine, we hope. The latest developments after President Trump has a phone conversation with Volodymyr Zelensky. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. President Trump spoke today for nearly an hour with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz issued a joint statement saying that Zelensky agreed to a limited ceasefire, also backed by Russia, and they said he requested more military aid.
President Zelensky asked for additional air defense systems to protect his civilians, particularly Patriot missile systems, and President Trump agreed to work with him to find what was available, particularly in Europe.
President Trump is also expected to sign an executive order tomorrow aimed at dismantling the Department of Education, one of his key campaign promises. Fully eliminating the Department of Education, though, would require congressional approval. Pope Francis' condition continues to improve. The Vatican says he no longer needs the use of a mechanical ventilation mask to help him breathe. The 88-year-old pontiff is also reducing his reliance on high-flow supplemental oxygen during the day. Francis has been at a hospital in Rome since February 14th for a complex lung infection. Vatican officials are fusing faith with fun. How about it? A new game letting children explore St. Peter's Basilica. The Minecraft adventure lets kids explore a virtual replica of the church created from 400,000 high-resolution images. The game, called Peter is Here, also uses AI to help spot and check areas of the basilica that need repair.
As the character, you can walk through the hallways and explore the entire building. You can interact with the art pieces, the statues, and the mosaics.
Church leaders say the goal is to get younger generations excited about the Vatican's rich history through fun and interactive gaming. Well, after thunderstorms earlier, then the first warned weather team had snow and hail and you name it. And Blaze Keller is here with what we're seeing next.
That's right. I mean, we've really had, 2-3 seasons in one day, from storms to hail to snow. And now we're going to be cooler as we go into Thursday. It's all kind of the time of the year where we still tap into some of that cooler air off in Canada with some of these stronger systems. And then we very quickly warm back up. Tonight, it's going to be snowy and windy. Thursday, sunny, but also windy because of not only the snow on the ground, but northwesterly winds moving on in. And then our eyes jump ahead to Sunday. That's when another system is going to be moving through the area, bringing another chance for not only rain, but also some snow and a mix of both. We're noticing some dry air along the Wisconsin-Illinois border, so this is going to mean snow accumulation is going to take some time in these communities. So you may not get as much as, say, friends off to the north, where some of this snow has been falling consistently over the same spot for several hours at this point. And this is all rotating slowly off towards the east. So what's ever falling here will eventually move its way south and east as we go throughout the rest of this evening. But as we mentioned, we had some hail this morning, a few hail reports coming out of southwestern Wisconsin. We find wind gust reports anywhere in the green. In the orange here, those are wind damage reports, and a handful of tornado reports coming out of parts of Illinois, right around the Peoria area. So this has been a very organized system that brought us kind of 2 seasons to parts of the Midwest. We had spring and summer, and then we also now are dealing with winter. Some of those snow reports coming in, the latest ones, nearly 10 inches of snow up there in Warren's Toma, coming in at over 6 inches of snow. Sparta over 6 inches as well. Westby at 5.5, and then Eastman barely getting a half an inch of snow. So we really are seeing that very stark cutoff because that snow has not only been falling over the same places for several hours, but we also haven't cooled down the rest of southern Wisconsin, not to mention that dry air. So we will eventually get some snow, but we are certainly not going to see those high accumulations across southern Wisconsin. 20s tonight, especially where we have more snow on the ground. It's going to be not only a little bit cooler tonight, but a little bit cooler for your Sunday or for your Thursday as well. Gusts could be anywhere between 40 to 45 miles per hour overnight into the start of your Thursday. And then, as I mentioned, we turn our attention to Sunday. This is when another low pressure system is going to move through parts of the Midwest. The center is going to stay off to our north, and for now it looks like most of that cooler air is going to stay kind of where it's been at today in parts of northern and central Wisconsin. This low pressure system will bring us some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms as well Sunday night into early Monday, and then much like today, we're seeing that wrap around. So we'll be dealing with cloud cover, northwesterly winds as we kick off your Monday, and maybe a few snowflakes mixing in with some of the raindrops as we end Sunday going into your following work week. So we are looking at a pretty sunny day. The graphic behind me showing thunderstorms. That is not what we are expecting. We're expecting plenty of sunshine, but it is going to be a little bit cooler, not only to start, but especially further north and west because we have more snow on the ground. But by the afternoon hours, plenty of sunshine back into those mid to upper 30s, even some low 40s as well. I would say closer to northern Illinois where we haven't had that snow on the ground. So that's going to allow a lot of that snow that we did see today to quickly melt. Upper 30s to low 40s for your Thursday, 50s on Friday. So any snow that remains on Thursday will definitely be gone by Friday. We quiet down after some evening showers Friday into Saturday. And then I was just mentioning that big system or the next big system moves in on Sunday. That wraps up early Monday. So we'll go from the 40s to the upper 30s. And then we'll slowly hang out in the low to mid 40s, maybe a few upper 40s by next Thursday with some more rain to round out our upcoming work week.
Just like spring. Thank you so much, Blaze. News 3 Now and CBS is your home for March Madness starting tomorrow at 11. And that will mean some programming changes as well. If you're not a basketball fan, you will still be able to find your favorite News 3 Now newscasts always streaming on our Channel 3000 and Channel 3000 Plus apps, along with our sub-channel TV Wisconsin 3.2. If you will be watching basketball, our newscasts will air in special times following the March Madness games on CBS. The graphic on your screen explains where you can find what newscast and when. All of that information is also available on our website, channel3000.com. We'll be right back.
And welcome into Ball Arena in Denver. Now, Wisconsin isn't shying away from the fact that it's been a couple of years since they won a game in the Big Dance, and even longer since they made it out of the opening weekend. But this group of Badgers plans to write their own history because, as they say, they're built for a deep run.
From the Big Ten Conference, with an overall record of 26 wins and 9 losses, coached by Greg Jarrett, the Wisconsin Badgers.
I think the biggest things were just battle tested. We played at Purdue, beat them, just made a run in the Big Ten tournament against some of the best teams in the country.
We got talent. We knew we've been talented since we first got here. We've got guys that buy in and that are passionate about the game and want to win for each other.
People have been here. They know what it's like to lose and they know what it's like to win. And I think just having that under their belts, especially Steven and Carter and Max, and just knowing what it takes to get here and what it takes to win in here.
We got a good group of guys who we play together. We got a good coaching staff, and we're willing to do whatever it takes to win. So I trust my guys, and we all trust each other to make a deep run.
We know we've earned this position. This is what we worked all year for, all summer. So come here, stay locked in. Embrace the moment, and then go out there and give it your all, and we'll live with the outcome from there.
It's hard to beat a team once, let alone 6 times in the same season, and that's the challenge for the Wisconsin women's hockey team. Their Frozen Four opponent is none other than Minnesota. Mark Johnson's squad has won all 5 meetings against the Gophers this year, but the Badgers know this time of the season, everything gets amped up a level or two, especially when there's a spot to play in the national championship game up for grabs.
We should step into the playoffs. Again, whatever sport you're involved in. I know when I was in the NHL, it was like when you went into the playoff, you know, everything goes up a notch. And so your awareness, your preparation, your focus, you know, everything is more into the details part of the game.
So the Wisconsin women begin their quest for an 8th national championship on Friday, while the Wisconsin men tip off tomorrow in what they hope is an extended stay in March. At Ball Arena, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
This is sweet. A detective with the Green Lake County Sheriff's Office performed a creative rescue with a drone. Footage are showing here a doe and 2 fawns swimming through broken ice on Green Lake. The Sheriff's Office used their drone to help shoo the animal to shore. Look at that. The detective says because deer are afraid of people, that prompted this different approach. Now, despite the windy conditions, deputies safely rescued all of the trio within an hour.
That's good.
Oh, how sweet.
That's creative because, yeah, I think a lot of people would probably be like, get a boat and get them to shore, but they'd go further out.
Or save, so what? And
Yeah.
they save the deer.
I
Very
love little
sweet.
fawns.
I know.
I've accidentally walked up on a few sitting in like grass or in the forest.
Oh.
They're very cute, but they do not move.
They don't.
No.
Huh. I've never tried. Anyway.
Well, if you guys want to go walking out in the forest and find some fawns, tomorrow it is going to be breezy, but it is going to be sunny. So take a look at our planner for your Thursday, starting out in the 20s, ending the day in the upper 30s to low 40s with plenty of sunshine, 50s on Friday with rain to end the day before a quiet Saturday.
Looks like spring to me.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.